Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to be continuing with chapter 10 to 15. Those are 16 huge chapters. We're going to try and cover as much ground as we can cover as quickly as possible. Today we have two facilitators. We have Dr. Fumi Aino and myself. We're going to be looking at the chapters together. It's better you get the book and read, because what we're doing is tutorials, essentially making sure that the things you probably missed out, we can cover them, and you can understand the things you need to pay attention to in the book, because the quiz will be tonight as well. Okay, so chapter 10 is the first chapter we're going to kick off with today. It's a chapter I find very exciting. Yeah, it's after the sizzle sells the steak. This one on motivation and attitude is amazing for me. So I'd like us to comment on this chapter, the key things you can see, the key highlights. You share your key highlights, I share my key highlights as well, and then we'll move to the next chapter. So Dr. Fumi, over to you.
Yes, good afternoon, CM. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, this chapter talks about motivation and attitude. It talked about up motivation and down motivation and up motivation. The first thing is that, it likened attitude to a temperature, to the temperature where you should not speak to a prospect when you're not fired up. That's in short. But it talked about down motivation. Down motivation is like maybe you attend a training, there's a big event, and it's like a hot bath whereby you feel good, but after a while the effects wears off. Even trainings like this can be down motivation. Reading a book, selling products, and you're happy, you're making money, can be a form of down motivation. But up motivation is more constant, and the basic thing is sponsoring people, really. So when your upline, your sponsor helps you to supports you and helps you to sponsor people, you're motivated. It's down motivation. And by the time you help one of those people to build down the line, the temperature gets higher and higher. So it's also likened it to a pan whereby there are 5 burners, and those 5 burners are your 5 downlines, your 5 direct. And the more you help them to build their teams down the line, the hotter the flame under them, to a point where they get to boiling point. What it's saying is that, what I would like to pick from this is that don't get carried away by just having what is in effect hot baths. As good as they are, as important as they are, it's more important to build our teams. And there's a responsibility first to the sponsor. The sponsor is supposed to know better and to guide the downline along building their team, saying, okay, bring your prospect, let's have a sizzle with them, let me help you sponsor them. At the same time, those of us who are in the business, yes, we may be very busy, active, attending trainings and doing that. The most important thing is building your network and building downwards, not just sponsoring 100 people or 10 people, but to help them to duplicate themselves down the line. So I think I'll stop there.
Thank you very much. I think those are the essential things. And if you're listening, I think she's covered ground on exactly what you need to pay attention to. One of the things that struck me particularly is the fact that selling the products can be down motivation. Reading this book is down motivation. Attending a seminar is down motivation. Coming to this training is down motivation. You want to keep yourself constantly up motivated, sponsor people, and help the people you are sponsoring to sponsor people. So if this training is going to achieve anything significant for you, it will be because you are sponsoring people on behalf of your downlines, increasing their temperature, and also bringing yourself to boiling points. I think the illustration is amazing. And if there's anything I want to quickly, just touch upon, I like that conversation on attitude and your temperature. And the fact that if you just join the business and new and you go about trying to prospect people, they can drop your temperature and make you become critical as well. So when you're going around without having, up motivation and having high temperature, you go around, try and share with people, you will come back, they will have asked you different questions you cannot answer. They will have confused you as well. So you don't begin to engage until your temperature is up. You allow, no matter how superstar you think you are, work with your sponsor, ensure that your sponsor, your sponsor, or anybody who is a gold ship above you is involved in your journey of communicating with the first people that come into your team. It always makes a difference. It always adds some value. And I like the temperature model. So you can measure your temperature. The people that are directly under you give you 5 degrees. The people that are under them give you 10 degrees. People that are under those people give you 20 degrees. And the people that are under those people give you 40 degrees. So you can look at your team and identify who is at boiling point in my team. Am I boiling myself? So I want to ask you a question today. Are you boiling? And do you have members in your team who are boiling? Do you have anybody in your team who is at 212 degrees Fahrenheit and is on fire? So, and I like the illusion as well to say, look, if you are a member of a team, you are like the sunlight. Your team members are like pans. You are not going to boil them by what you do to them. You are going to boil them by what you do under them. Okay, so you don't want to shine light on their faces. You want to put heater on their seats. It's not by blowing a torch on their thinking, but by putting flames on their sitting. That's how you can get them up motivated. I think it's a beautiful illustration. I think it's something that we need to go back to regularly. It's a napkin presentation that helps us realize the only way around this is I build my team. I identify the gold ships. I find a gold ship somewhere deep down to work on behalf of my downline. That will bring the heat to the surface and will get them going as well. So if you want to help your team member, the best help you can give your team member is find a gold ship somewhere in their team, set them on fire, and every silver along the way is likely to find what they are doing and pick up as well. So ladies and gentlemen, that is up motivation. That is how that works. Let's begin to implement that in our businesses. Call your sponsor, call your team member, and I have this person I want us to talk to together. I want you to be, join me in doing this, sponsor this on my behalf. You have the contacts, they bring their time, they bring their energy and their knowledge. And once you learn how to do it and you have trespass with their own people, you can do the same thing for them there as well. Chapter 11 is the Pentagon of Growth. The Pentagon of Growth. I think this is a very lovely one as well. It's just 2 pages, but it is deep, and if you can implement this, your business will blow. Dr. Fumi, over to you.
Thank you. Yes. When I reading this chapter and even going over it again, to me, it's almost like scaling up your business. When you've helped your first 4 or first 5 to get to bedrock, you move to another. It's described with a 5-pronged, a 5-sided object, pentagon. So you move. The first side is your first 5 or your first 4, and once you help them build to bedrock, you move and work with another 4, another 5, and by the time, even if you do that in every 2 months, say your first month is training, you do that your second month, and then in another 2 months, you move to another pentagon, another side of it, and you build. By the time you get to the 10th month, you will have 5 different teams at different stages, at different levels. Some would have built to their first level, some to their second level, some to their third, some to their fourth, some to their 5th. And when you add up the numbers, that is a lot of income, being earned. Now, it may not even be 2 months. It may be 4 months. It may be, you may do each set in 2 months or 6 months, so that by the time it's 10 months or even 5 years, it is a lot of income, a lot of value happening in your team. So that is what that one is about. So it's really about systematically building your team to a point that will lead to just a lot of value at the end of it. Thank you. It looks like. Maybe we'll wait a bit for CM to come back.
Hello, ma.
Yeah.
You're done?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Somebody was disturbing me here. Okay,
Okay.
so very quickly, chapter 11, Pentagon of Growth. Pentagon of Growth, the other side of it that I see is this is actually, we have the power of 4 in Green Monday. The power of 4 is 1 out of 5 parts.
Yeah.
Pentagon of Growth is saying you can have the power of 5 times before the year is over. So you can, every 2 months, so let's say you set up the first 4 people, it takes you 2 months. By the second month, you're setting up by the 3rd to 4th month, you're setting up your next 16, you can set up another 4. By then you're going to do your 64, you can set up another 4 somewhere else and set up another, so you can basically grow your team 5 times. The income potentials are mind-blowing. It's something that motivates, it's something you can use for your self-motivation when you're looking at your team and looking at your business. Remember, before you get your 5 serious people, you may need to have 20 people. Your back burner, you go back to them later, or you find the good people, you work with them. As you're building depth, you're building width as well, and this can give you traction for your team. So that's that chapter 11, done. I think the fact that we are just doing it today will make us faster, and then there are questions, we will take more questions. Chapter 12, going back to school. I like this chapter. This chapter is a good chapter for understanding prospecting, understanding how to prospect close people, how to change people's perspective about the industry. I think it's an exciting chapter. It's a bit long. It's about 6 pages. Dr. Fumi, over to you.
Yes, thank you. So this is back to school. The first thing that jumps out to me here is that we need a shift in mindset and attitude rather than seeing it as, okay, who's going to join my business? Who am I cornering into my business? I need to see it as, who can I help to retire in 3 to 5 years? So the way I see that is that, who can I give this value to? And that is it. And then it's just the fact that if somebody sees it that they can actually retire from, retire to passive income in 3 to 5 years, then they should be willing to go back to school. And it's called the School of Involvement. So learning, being in a network marketing business, it's about learning. The fact that it also brings out the fact that network marketing is a profession. And for a person to be a professional, there needs to be a lot of learning. They use the example of my profession, medicine, that you would not expect a medical student of a 2 years, a second year medical student to operate, And as such, if you're in a network marketing business, there is a period of learning. The beauty of it is that when you're in school, when I was in medical school for those 5 years, I did not earn. I didn't earn. It was after I qualified and I started working that I started earning. But in network marketing, you can earn along the way. So it's like being in school, but you're still earning, even though you're not to focus on what you're earning, rather than focus on what you're learning in those first months and years. So that's where I'll stop.
Thank you very much, Ma. I think it's apt. I hope we're paying attention and listening. So I like this particular chapter because it talks about a change of paradigm, like Dr. Fumi said, into understanding that this business is like school. And the goal of this school is not so that you get a job. The normal goal of school is so that you study, you spend 5 years, 4 years, 7 years studying, so that when you finish from school, you can get a job that you will show up every day to earn. While you're in school, you're not earning, you're buying textbooks, you're buying books, you're studying hard, you had no expectations of any income, so you did not complain. Now, welcome into multi-level marketing. You need to see it as a school that prepares you for retirement. So there's a new school. This school makes sure that when you are done with this school, you are now ready to retire. Now, when you are retiring, you will in your retirement be earning money for not showing up. You'll be earning money like somebody who has built, in my own language, 12 houses and is collecting rent from all of them. You'll be earning meaningfully. Now, if you understand that the paradigm is going to school, will you be disappointed if you have not earned mega money in 6 months? No, because it is our expectations that create our disappointment. Somebody says, blessed are the hopeless, they shall not be disappointed. That if you don't have any expectations, there is nothing that will disappoint you. So say that when you're doing this business in 2 ways. First of all, when you are prospecting, you're not prospecting with the mindset of who can I use? No, you're prospecting with the mindset of who can I help attend the school that ensures that they can retire in 3 years, in 3 to 5 years. When somebody says, let me try it for 1 month, you can let the person know, don't waste your time, because for you to even build your foundation, for you to be able to appreciate the course, you will need 6 months of engagement. So this is a paradigm shifting chapter that says when you come to this business, you are going back to school. I like the way Robert Kiyosaki calls it the business school for people who like to help people. So once you are working with this mindset, it sets the right expectations. It sets people on a path to know that even while I am in school, I am earning. Many of us doing this business have not done one. We've been in the business for like 1 year. Our real start date, maybe 1 year for some of us, maybe a little more for some of us. But guess what? In the period of time we have used to drive this, we are in school. But while we are in school, we are earning. And if we pay attention to it and build it correctly, in 5 years, people here can be earning phenomenal income and they can go into retirement because they've built a proper duplicated organization. So this book explains how that works and says, don't expect, there are many places where you can go to and earn quick money right away. It also stops quickly as well. You want to earn income that can be for a lifetime and sustain, you get ready to do it like you're entering into school. Okay. And then it begins to show something very interesting here, showing you how level 1, level 2, level 3 goes, and how on the fringe of it, you can have 10 customers each, and how that increases the chances of what you drive as well. I like a very nice illustration here that says everybody has 2 categories of customers. You have serious distributors, and then you have friend customers. Now, since your distributors are also customers, you need to add the number of friend distributors with your free distributors. You realize that the bigger purchase will happen with the distributors who are serious distributors, because they are more familiar with the distributor line, they are more familiar with the products, they are more likely to give it away to their friends, they are more likely to be generous with their products. Okay, they give it as sample, so that's where your biggest base will be as well. So it's saying build for serious distributors, encourage them to have like 10 friends at the service, but understand that you are going back to school, and if you build this seriously, you can get to a point where $50,000 is happening for you per annum without much ado. Now, in Green Monday, what you can be earning per month is wilder than that. But you need to go in with the mentality of, I'm going back to school. It will take me time to learn. I want to commit to the time that it takes to learn and ensure, that by the time I have learned and I'm growing, I can now, learn and get ready to retire. So this business is a business that you go to school to learn how to retire. Okay, I hope you are still following us. Thank you, Dr. Fumi, for those points. We move very quickly to chapter 13. And chapter 13 is a very short chapter. It says using numbers, playing with numbers to make a point. Playing with numbers to make a point. It's a very short chapter. It just shows you what happens when you add one extra person to your team. and then you grow in depth, the difference it makes down the line, and how beautiful this business model is. Dr. Fumiano, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I guess you've said most of it, but yeah, it talks about the fact that when you finished with your first four, your first five, you move. I mean, or maybe at least one of them doesn't need you anymore. Then you can take on another person, you know, who you can work with down to X level. And it shows the difference here. It shows the difference between, I mean, the difference in your team between by you just adding one more person and working down to a certain level. Now it talks about the fact that most companies pay uni level down to 7 levels. Now the beauty of our company is that we pay down to 12 levels if you're a VIP. And so it's just to emphasize helping our downlines, building down the line. And then when you move to, I mean, another person, teaching that person, sponsoring teaching to build down the line, that the difference that will make in your business is quite a lot.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I think it's very, very clear. You know, is a reinforcement of some other presentations, letting you know that if you have built 5, and it's just using numbers to show you the beauty of what goes on here. It says you have built 5 and they've gone, you know, 5, 25, 125, 625, 3,125, 15,725, 17,125. If you add just 1 to it, the difference is phenomenal. The difference 7 levels deep can be 201,000 people. Can you imagine what that does for your income? So it means when you have built your power of 4 to a level and you begin another line and you're building, the huge difference that extra makes is mind-blowing. And you're saying after you have built, you can build layers and layers upon what you have built, and you can keep going that way as well. So if you don't have excitement about your business, get excited, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to earn monies that is going to make people wonder, what are they doing? You know, is this just reader? Is it just Green Mondays, you know, or is there something else involved? Chapter 14 says business trainings versus weekly opportunities. Now, this is a chapter that if we understand, we will stop many of the things we are doing and reset them and do them again in a different way. Chapter 14 is a very interesting chapter that analyzes business meetings, analyzes weekly opportunity meetings, and says, let us do it differently. And I want us to have a debate here today. So we'll discuss this. I want to ask ourselves, do we want to do this differently? Or do we want to continue as we are doing? Or do we want to, you know, implement this and see the results that are possible? Chapter 14, ma, over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's business training sessions versus weekly opportunity meetings. You know, the first thing I'll say is that, I mean, the point of this is doing what can be duplicated. You know, it talked about the fact that a typical person came in to the business by attending a business opportunity meeting where there'll be about 20 or 22 people. And among those, maybe there are just 3 to 6 prospects. And then the person who is speaking to, I mean, speaking to 22 people, but is really only speaking to the guests. And that some of the guests may look at this and they may say no, not because they don't want to do the business, but they're thinking, I can't do this, so I can't stand up and start talking to all these people. I know it's saying that what is better is when what is more duplicable and what somebody coming from the beginning may feel, I can do this, is if just a few of you, your sponsor, another person, maybe 4 or 5 of you get together and show the person the business opportunity meeting in 20 minutes. You know, the person can think, oh yeah, I can do this. So what is being said is that it is better, rather than always having business opportunity meetings, it should be trainings, members trainings, and then when the prospect is invited along, the prospect sees the leader teaching his his downline, teaching the team members how to teach, how to sponsor, teaching them how to teach the business opportunity meeting, the business opportunity. At that point in time, the person will learn about the business opportunity when somebody is teaching someone, their members, how to teach. So it's really talking about the fact that some people say no because it looks like I can't do this, and we should do what can be duplicated, that someone will not see and say I can't do this, and as such say no to the business. Let me see. Yeah, so it also talked about the fact that, you know, even the members could get bored by listening to the same thing over and over again, but that the important thing is that we should that sizzle sessions should be what should be happening more than weekly business opportunity meetings, and then have trainings that guests would also be invited to.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Ma. It was raining cats and dogs here, so I shut off my volume so that
yes, I'm done.
Yeah. So and I think this is very interesting because he's making a very interesting point in this chapter, and I'd like you to pay attention, everybody. He's saying in this chapter that that our prospect meetings are very funny meetings. In our prospect meetings, we have 40 members and 5 guests. And we are talking to the guests. We are saying the same things we've always said to them. And if we're not careful, we're really wasting the time of members, because members are listening in on the conversation they've heard before over and over again. That's what Dofala is saying. And Dofala is saying, rather than do that, why don't you change that model and say, you know what, for the prospect meetings, let it be a sizzle session. Give them the first 4 chapters of the book to go and read, so that they understand a little bit about what they're coming to know about. And give the presentation in 20 minutes. When you want to give this presentation in 20 minutes, tell them, I'm going to record this presentation so that next time you can simply take this presentation to your friends as well and play it for them. So you're creating a tool, just like we do in our meetings online. And then you now say to them, you know what? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to record 20 minutes, 3 minutes for the company, 7 minutes for the products, and 10 minutes for the compensation plan. And then I'll close. And then when you do that in a sizzle session, so your upline is there, somebody's there, your upline is on sponsoring on your behalf. When that meeting is closed, it happens in few minutes. If the person feels, if you see any reluctance, tell the person before you decide, why don't you join us in our business presentation meeting so that you can see how we do it. And it says in that business presentation meeting, make it 1 hour and spend time in that business presentation meeting teaching your team members how to do the sizzle sessions, how to sit down with their friends for 20 minutes over coffee, over Zoom, over different channels, and finish a sizzle session. Now, because in that meeting for training members, you are talking to members, the guests will be listening in, and what they are learning is more authentic to them because you're not talking to them, and then members' times doesn't get wasted as well. He's saying there are business training sessions and there are weekly opportunity meetings. Reduce your opportunity meetings into meeting with a guest, 2 guests. Have members in the meeting, not big meetings. About that, I hope we're still together. I was timed out for a while. Back in. Okay, so if you're are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? If you can hear me, say yeah. Can you hear me? Dr. Fumi, can you hear me now?
Now, yes.
Oh God. Okay.
Now it was breaking. Yeah.
You actually yanked me out for a while, actually. So I'll just pick it. I'll pick it back.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that. Yes.
Okay. So I was saying that you know, so the weekly opportunity meetings need to be reduced into like sizzle sessions where we have like 4 members and then a guest. and then we sizzle the person in less than 30 minutes. We get the person to make a commitment or a decision. And if the person is not ready to make a decision, we say, you know what, come for our business training meetings so they can see how we train ourselves, and then you can see how this is easy to do. This chapter is a shift in paradigm on the way we currently do the business. This builds around this is, you want to get them to read the book before the meeting, like 4 chapters, the free book, free version. Give them 4 chapters to read, invite them for the Zoom meeting. This can be done very well on Zoom. Open the meeting up, set up the meeting, and let them know in 20 minutes why they can do this and how you're going to help them. And then share with them that if they want to learn more, they can come for your business training, where they will see how it's been done and how people are being trained. And then they can make their decision to join as well. I think it's something that's excellent to do on Zoom. And over the course of the next few weeks, I think we should set up many of this. Please feel free to involve your upline. If I'm available, I'll tell you I'm available as well. I will join a few people in their initial sizzle sessions until people get this going and get this well. So I'm saying I'm available. Just book your time ahead with me. Let me know. Dr. Fumi, if you're in our team, book your time ahead. Emma, if you're in our team, book your time ahead. I think all of us is important as well. So let's get that, going. That's chapter 14. It goes to chapter 15.
Yeah. I didn't realize 15 was part of it.
Chapter 15 is very linear. It's just basically handling objections. Who is the green community who is here now? Is this Kike Lomo? You need to be logging in your name so that we can recognize you. Otherwise, there will be a challenge. Can you show your face so that we know who this is?
Okay, it's Kike Lomo.
Yeah, so Kike Lomo, you need to log out of. Usually, if you want to do it correctly, you log out of Green Monday. You join as somebody who, directly, so that you can come with your name. So you can show your face so they can join us in sharing chapter 15. Chapter 15 is about handling important objections. And, I'll just try and, share a few thoughts on this one. So chapter 15 basically speaks to people are likely going to raise objections. When we talk about the sales procedure, we say there is a pan poker. We have prospecting, appointment setting, needs analysis, presentation, objection handling. Okay, there are bound to be objections, and the book covers a sample of a few objections. So sample of objections, it says, why would I want to talk to someone into getting involved in my business if I didn't think they could do it? So it says, so nonsense that people say something like, I can see you have doubts getting involved. I want you to understand that if you say yes, I will be training you. Also understand that if I didn't think you could do it, we should be talking about something else. So sometimes you might need to help people realize that, look, if I didn't think you would not be able to do it, I won't talk to you about it. Once you have been in the business for 30 days, and it's just a function of the business, and not just a function of the business as like I do, you understand why I'm so excited about this opportunity. So let them know that they can't understand everything in the beginning. As you progress, they'll get to know more, and they will become as excited as you are as well as they get to know more. Another question is, do you have to sell? We all know that answer. Products will move in the process of building your business. Sharing with friends. There's a noise coming from somewhere. Let me just mute from that side. Products will move in the process of building your business. Sharing with your friends. If you ever had the position, for these other people who do cookware, who do this variety of things, you may be, people may feel, do I have to sell? Now, in this business, you don't have to sell, particularly if what you're loading up is sign-up packs, and you can buy M10, which is for your own personal consumption. It is expected that you share with friends at a later stage in your team development when you have plenty. And of course, because we have a fantastic product that people want to use as well, we're almost compelled to share them, and collect our money for sharing them. But essentially, people don't need to worry about selling. The business moves as people join, as the products move as people join their business. Somebody does VIP, products move. Somebody does bronze, products move. Somebody does gold, products move. As we build, imagine we build to 50,000 distributors, products would have moved. Imagine that people are upgrading, products will be moving. So People can be buying for their consumption, but the sign up, the business of building the team is where it really grows. Is it a pyramid? There are answers to that for those kind of things as well. So basically, it's question and answer. You can read through them and understand those questions. There are ways to answer them. Donfala, gives some ideas on how to answer them. Also gives a few contest ideas of what you can do. Since your people can enter contest by sponsoring someone who has never been in MLM. So you can do a challenge in your team and say on your masters, go, let's sponsor people who have never been in any network marketing company. Let's sponsor them. The university signs a statement that this is their first company, and then you may enter as many times as you like. As the university reaches various achievement levels, the trainer will receive awards and prizes. You can do this within your teams. It's an exciting thing to do. So there are plenty of questions there on questions that people like to ask. You can look at those questions and check them out. They're very easy and linear. I don't know if Kike Lomo or Dr. Fumi want to add anything to this chapter.
No, I'm just seeing. I'm seeing here the question: when should I quit my regular job? What I want to say here is, first of all, what was said was that you shouldn't quit your regular job until you're earning at least twice as much as your regular job in the network. But at this point, I think I'd like to, just also share that at the beginning, for somebody who is not in a job, probably, their job may actually be selling the products, sharing the products and getting income from it. Yeah. So, if you're just coming in, you've not built a big team, you may not expect to earn as much from the network. And what may keep one going is the retailing of the products, even though the whole business of being a networker is not retailing as such, but that may have to come in at the beginning if you don't have another source of income. That's just what I...
Very good. Very good. So your job may be selling, particularly if the product is moving. That can be your job. Yeah. I also like the question. I like the question. I can't afford to go into business. And the answer to that is, if you can't afford it, then you're in problem, because this is the cheapest business opportunity option that you can have access to. 90% of society cannot achieve financial freedom by any other means except this type of means. So if you can't afford it, there's going to be a big problem. You need to find a way to afford it. Somebody also asked a question, my wife won't be interested, my husband won't be interested, my spouse won't be interested. No, don't let that hold you back. Okay? If your partner is initially not interested, they will become interested. You only need to become successful. Okay? They will come on board. So what you want to do is start out that process, help them see how it's working with you, and gradually they can move and grow. Okay? There are many questions here that people ask. Please check them out, and see what you can do. If there are particular questions you want us to answer and talk a bit about, you can put those questions in the chat box or in the question and answer session, and we will answer them. So it's time for you to now to push your own questions, the things you want to get clarity about. Please ask them so that we can answer. Someone is asking, I have someone who just wants to buy and sell to make money for now, and I'm supporting her. Okay, good, you can do that. But let them see the opportunity for retirement. I tell people, one of the most difficult classes I find to teach financial freedom is the class of people that are still in school. They have not suffered long. They don't know what it means to be earning active income. So passive income doesn't really make much sense to them. So I understand that majority of the people you will meet will tell you, I want to buy and sell and make my profit and go. But it's our duty. It's our duty to educate them, to let them know that this is a school. If you are selling while you're in school, that's fine. But what you really want to build out of this is when you graduate from here, graduation is, I don't need to show up before I earn enough to take care of my living expenses. If I do more, it's because I still have energy. But I've built this business to a point where whether I show up or not, it is generating valuable results for me. So let's ask our questions. I can see another question in the question and answer. Someone is asking.
I'd like to say something about that, about the selling. Right.
Yeah.
It's just to, it's good to support someone who wants to to buy and sell for income, it's fine. But I think also we need to explain the marketing plan to them, that yes, they may sell, but in our business, for instance, someone who's just selling is very unlikely to go beyond 2-star. That's one. Someone who's just selling is very unlikely to earn an all expenses paid trip anywhere. So they need to know the score when they're deciding that all they want to do is selling, because I know that people bomb out of some networks and said, after all I didn't get this. But you see, if we explain to them, they will understand that, yeah, they've decided to sell alone, but you need to count the cost of that, because you can do the business, even you can sell more than any of us here. Paid trips, they're getting cars, but all you were doing, you were selling.
True. Yeah, I think that's grossly important. Thank you very much, Olafumi. So there's another question here that says, my sponsor doesn't help me. What should I do? The answer is go higher, go higher, go higher, go higher, until you find the upline that is plugged in and turned on and ready to assist you. Okay, very simple. Keep going higher until you find. Okay, someone says, I just don't have the time. That's a very popular excuse. I don't have the time. And you tell those people, there are 4 things you need in this business. There are 4 things you need. 1, you need contacts. 2, you need time. 3, you need energy. And 3, you need knowledge. If the person doesn't have time, ask them if they have contacts. Ask them if they are willing to put energy. Ask them if they are willing to have shared knowledge. If they have 1 and you have 2, if they have 3 and you have 1, if they have 2 and you have 2, it can work. Tell them, bring your contacts, I will share my knowledge, and I will bring my time, and we'll put in your energy, and we will do a CISO session, and we'll achieve success. Okay, it's about leverage, it's about collaboration, it's about making it work together. Okay, so there are many questions here, and there are various ways to answer them. I think there are questions. Somebody is asking a question here: can one still do or reduce CISO session with empty shifts in the team? Brother for me, I think you can take this one. Can one still do ReSISU or SISU with empty shifts in one's team?
Okay, you mean does that person mean to do it for that empty ship, or for a prospect with the empty ship there?
I think we can answer
I don't know which it is, but I think you can, because it may help the empty ship to wake up, to see, because you're talking, if the person is saying, if the question is that, can you do it with the empty ship there, and you're talking to a prospect, it may reawaken the empty ship. I don't know if that is exactly what the person is asking.
Yeah, so I think we can answer both. I think the second part is, if your empty ship is asking you to come and do CISO on their behalf, it means they probably are waking up. It means they're saying, I want to do
yes.
now. So you just help them up. Empty ship is going to crash.
Yeah.
Wait for them to crash, and then once they want to come up, help them pull them up. It's like swimming. Somebody who is swimming and doesn't know how to swim, you allow the person to exhaust themselves, and then you go out and help them. When they make motion that they need help now. So I think that's very important. So in the absence of all of that, I think that's it. Any other questions before we, hit the road on this one? I think there are many amazing things that we're learning from these chapters that we need to implement. And I'll tell you this, the exam for this course is on Saturday. Before Saturday, you need to ensure that if you are going to graduate this class, this is a bonus 5 points. Bonus 5 points will be available for you to get 5 prospects into CISO sessions with your upline, organize your own private Zoom meeting, and share with us that you did. We're going to play golf for this one, meaning we're not going to monitor and track you, but Zoom is free for 45 minutes. You can schedule a meeting, get your guests in, get your upline to support, have a CISO session, get their commitment. People may find it easier to say no to you when you're talking to them one-on-one. But when you have your upline there, you have your upline there, you have some bad people there in the meeting, the no will be slower. The person will say, can I do gold? I wanted to do VIP before, but can I do gold? So you can organize those meetings to make it happen. Let's ensure if you're in this class, I'm going to announce in the group as well, Sizzle sessions are compulsory. Okay, get them done, get them doing. If you get 5 of them done, you get 5 bonus marks for this course. Okay, that's important. Somebody's raising up their hand here. I think the person wants to come, okay, to the other side. You guys need to rename yourselves so that we can know who is who and we can know who to add. Any other questions before we go today? Any other questions? Is there any other question? Or you want to ask your question by voice? You can let us know as well. Any other questions? Okay, I think we've covered significant ground today, and we're able to do it in good time as well. Well done, Dr. Fumi, I know.
Thank you.
And well done, Kike Lomo, even though we didn't hear your voice. Okay, Mrs. Oluwake wants to speak. You're allowed to speak. Please go ahead and speak.
Thank you, CM. What if I have 5 people for Sizzle in one day? Is that okay? Or should I be doing one every day until Friday?
You can have the 5 every day. You can have the 5 in one day, but I will say that you break them into 5 meetings.
Yes.
You understand? So
yes. Okay.
There's 12 o'clock, there's 1 o'clock, there's 2 o'clock, there's 4 o'clock, there's 6 o'clock. Fantastic.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You'll be amazed that the 5 of them can sign up that day versus packing 5 people into one meeting and then the 5 of them confuse each other. We want to create a blaze. So when we have wet wood, we put wet wood with dry wood. If everybody in this class, 200 of them in WhatsApp group, does 5 sizzles in the next 5 days, if only 20% of the people that they bring join the business, that will be 200 signups. And if it's multiplied like that in your team, it's going to be something else. Okay, so we're going to do our parting shots. I'm going to get all the speakers in the house to do their parting shots, even though we didn't see their non-parting shots. So please unmute and on video so that we can do 1 minute very quickly and bring this to a close. Kike Lomo, are you still there?
Yeah, yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Sorry, hello.
Hello, yes. So we have 1 minute parting shot.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we cannot yet see you. Yeah, we can see you now.
Very sorry, I went at
we're not hearing you. Okay.
So, hello.
1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah. Okay. All right, sir. Although I've listened I've been listening to the conversation, so it's so interesting. What I just want to say is, don't try to close a difficult prospect alone. So it's easier when you have someone above you that to be able to do that successfully. Something happened between yesterday and now. There was a man that came for the 6 p.m. meeting. So he was asking a lot of questions. There was a lot of objection. I think Dr. Fumi too was in the meeting. She tried helping us to answer that question. I don't even know that it's one of my downline that invited the person.
Wow.
So it was after that meeting that it was today that the person that invited him was not telling me about that. They have somebody in Uganda that wants to come on board. I want to come with bronze. I was like, Uganda, who is the person? So when he now explained to me, I said, okay, the person attended meeting yesterday. He said yes. I said, wow, that it should put us in like a conference call that let me talk with him, because it was still saying now with the product. So by the time we had a conference call, so the man was actually in Nigeria, that the guy has already been talking to him. So it was not hearing what he was saying at all. So he was still blaming him that he was in Nigeria. Why can't he just tell him about the business? I was like, I told you now. But he attended the meeting yesterday.
I've lost you, and we haven't even gotten the gist. Okay, let's go over to MI. 1 minute when she comes back.
Okay, so that the closing will be easier for you to do. So when I got involved in the conversation, now we are talking about how to make payment and sign up. So it's easier that way. We help you to undo objection better. Thank you very much.
Very good. I even want to make it sound worse than that. I will say, don't talk to anybody if you are not 65, if you are not boiling. So for your first set of downlines, get them to your upline, get that conversation going up. Let your upline help you sponsor, whether it is difficult or not difficult, because you don't even know who's going to be difficult and who's not difficult. So escalate it quickly, get them to be involved in the meeting. Imagine that you don't have to sponsor your first 5 people. It means if they are VIP, you can earn your first 500,000 naira without doing anything. Will you be excited? Yes. You know, to now support them and work with them to go deeper. Will your upline be angry? No, because your upline will also earn from them. So, and then they'll be eager to also support you to ensure that it goes deeper, you know, and it's amazing. So over to you, MI. 1 minute parting shots.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, the quick one I wanted to mention is the fact that just like talking from the empty ship kind of people wake up at different times, yeah? Maybe a person never showed interest in the business and just all of a sudden, for one reason or the other, the person decides to wake up and do the business. What I would like to say, I'm addressing the downline now, who suddenly wants to take his business seriously and who is saying my upline is not supporting me. Probably your upline has not identified you as one of his 5 or one of her 5 or one of her 4. So your upline is not a mind reader. I mean, that's all I want to talk about. Open your mouth and ask for help. Ask for support. It does go a long way. Yeah. There's hardly any upline who is taking his or her business seriously or who wants to achieve phenomenal results in their business who will not support a willing downline. Okay, don't assume that your upline doesn't want to support you. Don't assume that they don't want to help you, or they're not supportive, especially if the person is plugged into the business, Ensure you ask for help. I don't know, people just feel independent, like I can do it. Yeah, and like we learned today, this is a school of involvement. You learn by getting involved. You watch how it's done. You don't have to. Nobody has to feel. I mean, it's interdependence. That's what we're trying to. That's what the best part of this business. So ensure that you ask for help. It does make your life easier. Like CM said, I mean, I can make an extra 100K, 200K, and I did not directly do the hard work. I mean, sit back and listen and watch and learn. Okay. It's important. It's important to have that at the back of our minds. Ask for help. Nobody ever loses for asking for help. It's a rewarding exercise that we must get used to doing. Even I ask for help. Sometimes I compare notes with fellow leaders when I get stuck and I have questions. Please ask. You are in a much better place when you ask for help. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good. Very good.
CM has left the building.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
There.
I'm here. I'm very here.
Hello.
So, I'm here. Oh, maybe you're not. Maybe I don't know. It's not here.
Is Doctor not here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So done. Yeah.
Thank you. We've heard. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, Dr. Fumi, I know over to you. I think Dr. Dino was asking a question. It says your downlines.
I'm done.
You keep telling them.
I think you've answered.
Yeah, I've answered him. Yes. Like, should tell them that he's not working with goat ships. Over to you, ma.
Well, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, well, it's just to reiterate the issue of up motivation and down motivation. Let's not get carried away. As important as down motivation is, training, selling, ceremonies, let's not get carried away that we do not get ourselves involved in what will give us up motivation, which is the essence of our business, building a team. Building a team, not just sponsoring people in your first line, but building a team down to bedrock and teaching those people to do the same. The second and last thing is that network marketing is a profession, and it's a profession that has to be learned. So we need to understand that we are in school. You know, even people who are at the highest levels are still learning.
Yeah.
So we can never have arrived and feel that, oh, maybe we're 1 star, 2 star, or even 3 star, and feel that we will not learn. We will continue to learn, and we have to have that attitude of learning and teaching down the line. So that's just what I'd like to say.
Thank you very much. I think we've heard a lot today. Let's go and review and revise them. I think the chapter on attitude, keep your temperature high, and you keep that high by down lines, deeper, going deeper and going deeper. Reading books is good, going for seminar is good, attending this is good, having the rah events is good, but it is down motivation. As soon as you leave the place, it won't take long before you get cold again. You want to maintain constant motivation, upward motivation. Find a goal ship in your team, work with them and help them to find other goal ships and raise your temperature. Remember, there are weekly opportunity meetings and there are business meetings. The best way for weekly opportunity meetings is sizzle sessions, where you get your upline in to do the speaking on your behalf, warm the person up, and invite the person to your business training if they are reluctant. I like the example that Kike Lomo gave, that she's somebody who was difficult yesterday is already been talking about how to pay today. That's the power of using your upline correctly. And if you can't find the upline to use, go higher, go higher, go higher until you find Dr. Fumi Aino, or you find Kike Lomo, or you find MI, or you find Dr. Diro, you find Dr. Mrs. Ogulesi, or you find somebody in your team that is ready to run. Okay, I think that's it in a nutshell today. 5 sizzle sessions before Saturday. That's the goal. Let's make it happen. And see you at the quiz this evening. Well done. Thank you very much, Dr. Fumi Aino and Kike Lomo and MI. Well